Welcome to video 6 of Tidy Text Mining. We're going to talk in this video about plotting a sentiment by chapter. So here we're going to interjoin the same NRC fear, list of fear words that are in NRC, with all of our tidy books. So this will be the whole thing. Then we're going to group it by book and chapter and then do a count. So if I look at fear chapter, I can see the total count of fear words in each chapter. Now I can take that and I can plot it. So I am going to plot that by chapter, and by within is my Y variable, and I'm going to facet wrap it by book. And I can see here are the books by Jane Austen, and I have made the X scale free so that they're stretched for the length of the book, so that each book is approximately the same length long on the X-axis. And I can see that the fear words, well, I don't see a clear pattern other than there seems to be somewhat of a peak toward the end in most of these, with some kind of a resolution right at the very last. Now let's look and see what other sentiments besides fear, what other emotions could I look at? So let's just see what all is in this NRC. So I'm going to get, let's see, I need get sentiments. There we go. I'm going to group that by the sentiment. And I'll count it. And here I can see that how many listings, how many words there are for each of the sentiments and what all the sentiments are. So I can see that negative and positive clearly are in there with a lot, but I can see what the different emotions or sentiments are that I could use to analyze in these books. Now, since chapters are different lengths, they have different, some chapters are very short, some chapters are very long. Instead of doing it by chapter, it might be better to do it, say, by 80-line segments. So let's see if we can figure out how to do that. First, we'll start by taking our tidy books, and we will interjoin and I'm just going to do the Bing sentiments. And then I will count by book with an index to be the line number, integer divide 80, and the sentiment. And let's just see what this gives us. So now I have indices. I have a line for negative, a line for positive, and ends for each of those. Well, I don't really want that. I want a column that says negative, a column that says positive, and the counts in each of those. So I want one row for each index. So we'll have to tidy this data set to get that. So I will use Pivot Wider and take this and Pivot Wider data set, taking the names from the column called sentiment and the values from the variable called in. And now I have the data set tidied up, and I'd like to have another column that is the negative, the positive minus the negative value, to see sort of a net positivity. So we will take what we did before, and I will save that back into Jane Austen sentiment. mutate and add a sentiment column, which is the positive minus the negative. And now I can see that I have sort of a net sentiment, and this is per 80 line block of text. So I will do the same sort of thing now that I did before with plotting this data. And I can see that now I can see the effect of a positive sentiment and where the negative sentiment is in the book. But recall, we're doing a very naive sentiment analysis. That concludes this video. Come back for the next video where we'll talk about looking at what is contributing to the sentiment analysis, which words are heavy hitters, and how we can fix that if we don't like it.